Hi, it's Neil from Active Performance Kings Cliffe. This is the first session on our YouTube channel. We're going to be going through functional fitness, which is a resistance-based class on our timetable, but today we're going to be doing body weight as a lot of you do not have equipment at home. Today's session is going to be a 30-minute session. We're going to be focusing on time under tension just to cause some muscle damage, which is going to help maintain your strength levels, tone up those muscles whilst you're working out at home. So we're going to have progressions and regressions of each exercise, so you can make the session as hard or as easy as you'd like. Okay guys, we're going to run through a nice steady warm-up, simple flow just to get everything moving. So all you need is a little bit of space in front of you, everything's body weight, and we'll get started. So we're going to squat and reach to begin with. So you want your feet hip to shoulder width apart, weight through the heels, feet slightly turned out, chest up like someone's pulling your t-shirt up. And we're going to squat down, keeping that chest up and reaching up onto the toes. So we're going to go for 10 of those reps. Following me, nice and steady. Okay, as you start to warm up, you should be able to increase that range of motion a little bit more. We don't need to rush this, just nice and steady, up and down. Have a couple more of those. Just warming up those legs, mobilizing the shoulders, and then we're going to take it into a lunge and twist. So when we lunge, keep the feet shoulder width apart, nice big step forward, knees over the ankle. We sink down, arms in front, we're twisting over that knee, getting a nice stretch in that hip flexor, back to center and back up. 10 of those. So big lunge forward, rotate over the knee, back to center and back up. So taking your time, getting balanced, switching on those leg muscles, cores in nice and tight. Again, squeezing that back glute to open up those hips. Good stuff. Keeping it going. 4 more, 2 on each leg. Keep that chest up, get those legs nice and warm. Squeeze that back glute. As you warm up, you can sink a little bit lower. Weight's always through the heel at the front. Okay, so that's working us in the sagittal plane, getting moving. So we're going to work in the frontal plane side to side to open up those hips. So we need to go nice and wide with those feet. If you're too narrow, you won't be able to shift your body weight. So nice and wide with those feet. We're going to shift the body weight over to the side, sticking that bottom backwards, opening up the inside of the leg and the inside of the hip there. You can use your hands to counterbalance. Up to the middle, squeeze the glutes, open the hip flexors, and then sinking down to the other side. Up to the middle, down to the other side. So we're going for 10 of those. Again, as you start to warm up, you should feel those hips opening and you should be able to sink a little bit lower into the movement. Just getting into those hips, nice and controlled. Squeeze those glutes at the top. Good stuff. We'll have 4 more of these. Open up those hips, nice and controlled. Get those legs nice and warm. And then from there, we're going to keep the feet nice and wide. Keep the back nice and straight. We're going to hinge at the hips by pointing the bottom back towards the wall. Reach down and then reaching up in the air. So we're just waking in those hamstrings up. Try and keep that back nice and tight. Drive your bum back towards the wall. And just start to get everything moving. Get those shoulders involved as well. Opening up the shoulders. Warming those shoulders up. Have a couple more of those. Good stuff. Okay guys, and then we're going to go into a bit of a flow to wake up those hamstrings, switch on the upper body, mobilise the shoulders and mobilise the hips. So we're going to slight bend in the knee, drive those hips back, stretch those hamstrings out. We're going to walk it out, core in nice and tight, back nice and straight, and we're going to do some push-ups. You can drop onto your knees or you can stay on your feet. You're going to lower yourself down, controlled, reach those arms in front, all the way to the sides, and then bring them back in, push up. That's 1 rep, we're going to go for 3 of those. Down again, all the way in front, all the way to the sides, and then back in, and then 1 more. Just waking up that upper body, stretch out those shoulders, and push up. From this position, we're going to try and bring our left foot up to our left hand. So even if that means you can only get to here, or you can only get wide here, that's perfectly fine. We're going to open up those hips, and then we're just reaching up to the ceiling. Again, 3 repetitions, nice and controlled. Get into those hips, mobilise your spine, mobilise your shoulders, and then same to the other side. So open up those hips, reaching up and down, nice and controlled. And then once we finish that, back on our feet, and we're walking those hands towards the feet. Okay guys, we're going to be working triceps, so that's 3 exercises in a row. They're different muscle groups, so we can work them back to back, and it allows us to get a lot of volume into the session. So we're going to have a lower body exercise, an upper body exercise, and a core exercise, slight little rest, and then we're straight back through. There's going to be 3 options for each exercise, so you can make it easier or you can make it harder. So the first exercise is going to be a split squat, okay? So what we want is take one foot in front of the other, one foot behind. This is your hardest option, okay? I want you to shift your body weight forward so the weight is through the heel, and this back foot is barely taking any load, so you can technically lift that foot up if you would like to. You use your arms as a counterbalance. We're going to be working a 3-second negative, so 3 seconds down, back's nice and straight, chest up, and we go 3, 2, 1, push through the front leg, so drive through that front leg, so 3, 2, 1, front leg drives, okay? If you want to make it a little bit easier, we can shift that body weight more so central between the legs, and we can go 3, 2, 1, and we can push through both legs, still trying to work on that front leg, but we've got a little bit of assistance with the back leg if we need it. And then if you want to make it even easier, again, shift that body weight back, so we're between 2 legs, you can reduce the range of motion, and you can take the eccentric out, so you can just drop down and push through, drop down and push through, so you can take whichever option you like, okay? Next one's upper body, so we're just going to go for a push-up. Your hardest option, okay, is going to be a wide grip push-up, so we're really going to open up that chest. So take those hands outside shoulder width apart, core's tucked in tight, back's nice and straight. Again, 3-second negative, 3, 2, 1, up fast. Control it down, 3, 2, 1, up fast. If we want to make that slightly easier, we can bring those hands more so shoulder width apart, so there's less of a stretch across the chest. Again, core's nice and tight, 3, 2, 1, and press. And that's a slightly easier option. Same position, press up position, drop those knees down to the floor, and then we're controlling it down, 1, and press. Okay? At any point if you need to take a rest, you can take a rest. And then our last exercise is a dead bug. Okay, with a dead bug, we want to be pushing the spine into the ground. It's an anti-extension exercise. We're stopping the spine from extending. So when we're in this position and we're extending, we don't want the back coming off the floor, okay? So your hardest option, hands up, legs out. If you can, you're going to try and lower arms and legs at the same time. Whilst this is happening, you're pushing, you're squeezing your core to push that back into the ground. Do not allow the back to lift up. Imagine someone's got a £50 note under your back, they're trying to pull it out, you're pushing that back into the ground. So again, extending out as far as you feel comfortable and then squeezing back in. If you want to make that slightly easier, we go opposite arm to opposite leg, pushing that back into the ground, and together, and we alternate, squeeze, and if you want to make it slightly easier, we can keep the knee bent so there's less resistance, and we just extend, push that spine down to the ground, really squeeze your core, and extend. Okay, so we're going to be working for time today, so we're going to do 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest. That will allow everyone to move along at the same pace, but within that time you can work as hard or as easy as you would like. Feel free to take a rest at any point if you need to, and feel free to take the easier options when you need to as well.
Okay, let's make sure that that chest is up, head looking forward, weight is through the front heel, and we're driving through that front leg. Control that descent down, so 3 seconds down and then driving through. So 3, 2, 1, and driving it up fast. Excellent work. We've got a 15-second breather. Shake that leg off and then we're into the opposite leg. Okay, down into the press up position. To make this harder, take those hands out a little bit wider, and we can also take a position on our feet or on our knees. 4 is braced, back is flat, and we're controlling it down again. So 3, 2, 1, push through. And finally into that dead bug position, driving the spine into the ground, keeping the core engaged all the time. If you want to increase the difficulty, we can take both limbs out at the same time. Just make sure that the back stays in contact with the ground throughout. Take a quick breather, grab a drink, feel free to pause the video if you need to, and then we are into set 2. Maintain the quality of those reps on the second round. If you found the first round quite easy, then take a more difficult option, or if you found it hard, take one of the easier options.
Excellent work on round 1, guys. So now we're going to take it into round 2. Got 3 more exercises for you. Again, lower body, upper body, and core. So we're going knee dominant again with the lower body working the quads. So it's going to be a wall sit, okay? So you need to find yourself some sort of wall in your house. You're going to lower yourself down. So we've got 90 degrees at the knee and at the hip. Hardest option, want to get those feet nice and narrow together. Keep that chest upright. And we're going to try and raise one leg, pop it down, shift the weight over, raise the other leg, pop it down. And just keep shifting that weight over onto the standing leg so all the tension is going through that leg to hold. If you want to make that slightly easier, we're just going for a normal wall sit. So squat position, weights through the heels, 90 degrees, chest up, and we're just holding it nice and strong. And if you want to make that slightly easier, we can just come a little bit higher so we're feeling in those quads, okay? Second exercise is going to be a pull exercise. Second exercise is going to be a pull exercise. So we pushed on the first exercise with the press ups. Now we're going to be pulling with a back extension and a row. Okay, so we're going to be lying down. Take a band, a towel, a t-shirt, anything that you have at home. And we're going to be lying on the floor, arms extended, and we're going to raise up, pull those elbows down to the sides, extend, and then down. Get some tension in that band or in that towel. So we're pulling the band apart and also pulling it down. Okay, if you want to make that one easier, we can just get rid of the band and we can just come up, draw those elbows by the sides and extend, squeeze in those back muscles. And if you want to make it even easier, hands by your head and we're just working through the back raise. And then the final exercise is a side plank with abduction. So that's going to be working down the side of the core this time instead of the front of the core. So hardest option on our side, hips up off the ground, arm in the air, and we're raising the top leg up, slowly lower it down. Raise it up, slowly lower it down. So we're working the core down the side and also the glute on the outside of the hip. If you want to make that easier, all we do is drop onto the knees, bring the heels to the bum, raise it up, and again, raise that top leg, lower it down, raise the top leg, lower it down. And if you want to make that even easier, don't worry about the abduction, and we'll just try and hold that side plank on your side, core in nice and tight. Okay guys, first round, so find yourself some space against the wall and we'll get going.
The alternating leg version is quite tricky, so keep those feet central to keep that balance throughout the movement. Remember that we also do have the traditional wall sit, so make sure you're keeping the chest up, back against the wall, and we're driving those knees out to the sides. If you do need to make it a little easier, you can just bring those hips up slightly higher, as you can see there. Excellent job on that one. It's quite a tough one following the split squats from the first round of exercises. So now we're down onto the floor. You can grab a band, a towel, a t-shirt, a jumper, anything that you've got to create some tension between those shoulder blades. Pull that band or towel apart, raise the chest, and we're drawing those elbows down to the sides to engage those lats. If we need to reduce or we don't have any equipment, we can just keep those arms nice and long and draw those elbows down by the sides. Great job. So now into that side plank position. feet are stacked on top of each other and we're on that elbow, lift those hips up and don't let them sink down towards the ground. If we do need the easier alternative, we can just bring the heels to the bottom and push off those knees, and then we're trying to raise that top leg. Please work to your own ability, so do take the regressions if you need to. As you can see here, we can drive through that knee and continue to raise that top leg, or alternatively just hold that position isometrically. Well done, just that short 15-second rest, and then we're into the opposite side. Brilliant work, quick drink, and then we're into set 2. Again, we have a slightly better understanding of these exercises on the second round. So if it was easy on the first round, take the harder options. If it was hard, then make sure you take those easier options.
Excellent work again, guys. So now we're into round 3. So we've got 3 more exercises for you. A lower body exercise, which is going to be hamstring dominant because the first 2 exercises have been quite quad and glute dominant. We've then got a shoulder exercise because we've worked our chest, we've worked our back, we're now going to work the shoulders. And we have a rotational core exercise because the first exercise was anti-extension down the abs at the front. The second exercise was the side plank isolating down the side, and then the rotation will work all the way across the core. Okay? So the first exercise is called a Chinese plank or a hamstring plank. You'll be lying down on your back. We want to extend those feet out so they're further away. So it's not like a normal glute bridge. We want those heels on the ground. So we've got a deeper angle at the knee, and what we're going to do is raise those hips up off the ground, and then we're going to try and lift one leg up off the floor. So the hamstring's in a lengthened position, holding isometrically, and it's going to be quite tight and quite sore on that hamstring. If you want to make it easier, feet come closer, flat on the floor, and then we just hold up like a single leg bridge. And if you want to make it even easier, we can just hold a double leg bridge and you'll just do 2 sets of that, okay? Second exercise is going to be a shoulder press up. So the hardest option, we want to try and find a good pike position. So hands shoulder width apart, on the balls of the foot, bottoms up in the air, backs nice and straight, head is looking at the feet, and we're going to lower directly down and then press up. Directly down, then press up. If you want to make that easier, we can make the range of motion a little bit smaller, so we're still pushing quite good load. And then to make that even easier, drop onto your knees, backs nice and straight, head down and press up. Just so all the load's going through the shoulders at the front. And then the final exercise, Russian twist. Okay, to make this easier, sit yourself up higher. To make it harder, sit yourself down lower. We're going to extend the arms and we're just nice and controlled. Rotate. Back to centre, and then rotate, back to centre, just holding that core isometrically, keeping it nice and strong. Again, if you want to make it easier, come a touch higher, and also bring the hands closer, like we would with a medicine ball, and just rotate around the core, squeezing that core. Okay guys, first exercise, Chinese plank, get yourself into position, and we'll get ready to go.
Okay, so keep those hips high and drive that heel into the ground, and you should really feel that in your hamstring. This exercise is very challenging for this duration, so if you need to, just bring that foot in a little bit closer and drive the sole of the foot into the ground to keep those hips high. Excellent work again, so take a small little rest and we're going to change legs for the opposite side. Okay, so into the pike position, nice long arms, straight back, keeping those legs nice and straight and eyes looking towards the feet, and then we're descending directly down to target those shoulders. Another tough exercise, so if you need to, drop down onto those knees, keep those eyes looking back to shift the weight forward to continue to target those shoulders. Excellent, and finishing off with a Russian twist, so lowering yourself down, core in nice and tight, and make sure we're rotating all the way around that hip and not just dropping the arms down to the sides. And if we need to reduce the intensity, we can just bring those arms closer to the body to reduce the lever length, or you can sit yourself up a little bit higher. Great work everyone, we're into the last round of exercises now, so make sure you maintain the quality and finish strong.
guys on those exercises. Hopefully you found that quite challenging. We have worked the muscles quite hard, so feel free to take a little stretch at the end, but don't hold the stretches for too long because we would have caused some muscle damage. So hold them for around 10-15 seconds just to loosen off. And then if you did want to spend some extra time on your mobility, we will have a mobility video uploaded shortly. Keep up to date with everything that's going on at the gym, following Facebook and Instagram at Active Performance Kings Cliffe. And also, to make it easier to access these videos in the future, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and we'll have more content coming your way. Thanks again.